going to make a promise, and that promise is in 30 minutes or less, and judging by certain circumstances, it will probably be less. I will give you the knowledge you need to start gaining more clients and patients using cutting-edge social media and online advertising. If I break that promise, I want you guys to give me a call, and I'll give you a free social media consultation, and I'll answer any questions that you did not get in the presentation, okay? How I'm going to do that is 3 steps. Step 1, I'm going to explain an article that I wrote called The 10 Reasons Why You Must Get in the Social Media Marketing Game for 2013. I'm going to go through each step, and I'm going to do it really quickly. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, but it'll give you an understanding of what social media is, because I found that you don't know what you don't know. So how are you going to know how to apply it to your business if you don't know what social media is? The second step is a big picture, real world application of what I've done for our company and what you can do for yours once you know what social media is. And the last step is where the rubber hits the road, how you can start doing it. A couple of things that I would say within 2 weeks, 3 things that you'd want to start looking into to test to see if social media is for you, because it is not for everyone, but it can be for most of you. All right, so let's start in with reason number 1. Reason number 1 is that the market has evolved and you have to adapt to survive. Social media is a growing problem, which is weird because most people think it's a growing opportunity, but judging from the facts, it actually has turned out to be a problem for people that don't have a consultant or that don't understand it fully. It says that 1 in 3, just over 1 in 3 CMOs, which is my position, Vice President of Marketing, are utilizing social media. 1 in 3. 2 in 3 are monitoring and tracking it, but are scared and say, I don't know what I'm tracking. I don't understand this, okay? But a large majority of corporations are actually using social media. In fact, 178 platforms per corporation. So Target has 178 platforms if you scour the internet. Just missing parts, not connecting it. 178. What they should have is probably under 10, just connected correctly. But what that tells me is it tells me that a large majority of people in my position don't understand it, but they're still using it. They're using something they don't understand, and they're giving that power away when they could be utilizing it. That's why it becomes a problem. If you can understand it and you can take it really slow, it will not be a problem. It will be a tool you can use to grow your company or your practice, which is your situation. Reason number 2, you no longer have control over your brand. And this kind of scares a lot of people that have been doing business for 30 plus years, because it has changed. It used to be you make a Super Bowl ad, you tell them what you want, and that's that. They come to you and they say, I want that from the ad. You know, you said that it would give me this. That's what I'm going to get, right? But now it's not so much like that. Now it's like they're looking to judge you, and what they say is what rules, and the facts prove it. It says that it used to be said 9 to 15 people, if they have a bad experience, they'll tell 9 to 15 people. Okay, now it's like hundreds to thousands with one post. It doesn't happen with every post, but if you get the wrong person, like Delta Airplanes did when they broke a famous person's guitar, he made a song about it. Millions now knew that Delta breaks guitars, and that is their brand. Delta breaks guitars. If you Google it, you'll see the full page of just blogs ruining their brand. 1 in 4 search results, the top 20 largest brands are linked to user-generated content. And that's what I'm saying. If you type in Delta, 1 in 4 posts will be blogs, opinions, social media platforms dedicated to saying what they think about these guys, reviews, etc., that kind of thing. 1 in 3 bloggers will post opinions about products and brands. So they're going to be talking about you guys on these platforms, whether or not you're on them. And I think you've seen that if you go to Google Reviews. If you don't make a Google Places, then someone's going to come in and make one for you, and you're going to have ratings even if you're not monitoring it. So it is good to understand that it's happening, and it's also better if you get on it and you start monitoring just to see what people are saying. You can use it as a listening tool. You don't have to necessarily take over control. In fact, I wouldn't even suggest doing that, but you can learn based on what people are saying about you. And then 78% of people trust peer recommendations, which means what these posts are saying, 3 in 4 of your patients are going to trust that over what you are telling them to believe. 15% of people trust advertisements, which is a very, very low number compared to the 80s. Back in the good days, you had control of your brand. Fans will need your attention, and that's reason number 3. The difference between rock stars and business owners, does anybody know the difference? yes? Nobody ever raises their hand when I say this. Because they're like, I don't get it. I don't know. Rock stars play to the fans, whereas business owners play to what they think the fans want. They don't play to what the fans need. In this picture, Taylor Swift is a perfect example. Do you know that she spent a large majority of her time thinking, how can I help my fans? Before she had a song, she said, I promise you I will make a song. And she had an album come out at 21. Okay, she was writing, singing songs about 21-year-olds and things that they have issues with. She said, I promise you I will sign autographs for 21 hours with no breaks. She signed for 23 hours and took one break to sing, to perform, which is hardly a break. So she is playing to the fans. The business owner, that's the difference. And that's what we have to bridge the gap here, and that's where social media can help you. That is how you can start listening to your fans, and you can start actually helping them. It says that 1 in 3 millennials, which is 1980 to 2000, give or take, are more likely to buy from a brand if that brand has a Facebook page. 1 in 3. All you have to do is make a page. That didn't even say maintain it correctly. Don't mention it. It's just, is this a real legitimate company? I don't know. Is he on Facebook? 1 in 3 say if he's on Facebook, you're immediately going to be legitimate in their minds. 1 in 3. And almost 50% feel that life is now richer now that they're connected with social media, which means that 1 in 2 are saying social media makes them feel happy. It gives them an outlet to be social. And that's why they're using it. That's why almost everyone, all of my friends have one, except for the 1 or 2 that are kind of antisocial and decided that they were going to go against it. But that is 99% of them have one. It's the best way to get a hold of people. Reason for the lead generation has changed. LinkedIn. Have you guys heard of LinkedIn? If you have, raise your hand. So just almost everybody. And at the end, I'll show you what it is. That is the best way if you're doing a B2B, trying to get business owners. You guys are going to go more for patience. So for you guys, it's a totally different gig. But for lead generation, or at least for personal branding, LinkedIn is the #1 tool. Facebook and Twitter, not as effective at business owners. So for you guys, Facebook and Twitter is something you want to look into. LinkedIn maybe uses as a branding tool. If you brand it correctly, it will show up in Google search results when someone's looking for your services. And at the end, I have a snapshot. It shows kind of everything that I've done, and you'll see my LinkedIn profile is on page 1. The last part is the content should be unbiased and present facts rather than opinions of the business owner. You don't want to lie to them. Don't say you have the #1 product. Don't say that you have the #1 service. Just tell them what you do. Tell them how much it costs. Tell them how they can get a hold of you. Provide value, not necessarily trying to drive a sale the entire time. It's kind of like this. When you're on vacation and you're on a beach, you're going to be swimming, having a good time. You go there to swim and have a good time. A surf lesson guy comes up and he says, hey, you want to try out surfing? And you're like, yeah, I would love to try out surfing. That sounds excellent. I don't get to be by a beach often because I'm from Iowa. And that's dirty lakes, and that's about it. So you get on the surfboard, and the whole time all he's trying to do is say, you want to buy my surfboard? Just buy it. Well, I don't have a wallet. I'm not here to purchase anything. I'm here to have a good time, my friend. But if you can get him to come into the store by providing value, and he has a great time on that surfboard, and he says, hey, I might be moving to Florida. It's like, come into my store and check out what I have to offer. Okay, well now he's in the purchase decision. And the lesson you can learn from that is that Facebook is like the beach. Okay, they're going there to have a good time and get value. They're not there to buy your product. You have to find a way to link them from Facebook to the purchase decision. And for most people, that can be a website. Other people, that can be just come to my store. There are ways, there are tools you can use to drive them from a value-driven environment into your environment where you can make a sale. And the biggest mistake people do is they confuse the fact that they think Facebook is their store, and it's not. Facebook is the beach, guys. You want to get that surfer into your shop where you can actually buy a surfboard. Reason number 5, long-tail marketing. And I'm going to explain this because a lot of people that are in marketing don't know what that means. A lot of people will say, well, I tried Facebook and it didn't work, and I had a consultant, did it all right, it just wasn't working, and I don't like it. Well, there are a lot of platforms that will tailor to more specific needs than Facebook will. And that's what long-tail marketing is. It says, well, here's Facebook. Everyone's on it. 90% of the companies that do it will have success. But what about all of these guys? And if you add it up, it stacks up. A large majority of people are actually in that realm. Those are more niche market social media platforms that you can find that will tailor directly to what you're selling, whereas Facebook might not be the best thing for you. And that's where a consultant comes in handy. It also is important to look at what your competitors are doing. I mean, are they on Facebook? Did they have success? How much money did they invest? You can tell just by going to the platform. If they don't have one, obviously they haven't looked into it, so they need testing. But don't necessarily rule out social media just because one platform didn't work for you. Reason number 6, permission-based marketing is now more effective than anything else. And permission-based marketing means that you are attracting them. They're giving you permission to market to them, which could be giving you their email address, it could be liking your page, it could be coming into your store and signing up for some sort of relationship management, buy 10, get 1 free. That's permission-based marketing. That is much more popular now than what I call interruption-based marketing. That's when a commercial comes on in the middle of your show and you're all disappointed and you're like, well, I was watching Lost and now Target's trying to sell me shoes and I don't need shoes. That's interruption-based marketing. That's less popular now than permission-based marketing. The most expensive commercial space, we're talking about commercials here, is the last 5 seconds of a commercial, of the commercial break. Does anyone know why that is? Yeah? You guys are reading ahead. TiVo is the best way to skip commercials. But people find that they don't want to skip into the show, so they'll rewind in a couple of seconds. And you get like the last 5 seconds, you're like, okay, hit play. And then it plays 5 seconds of the commercial. It's usually like some disclaimer for medicine, still riling on, and maybe a little phone number down there. Companies are getting smart now, and they're making 5-second commercials, like Miller Lite did in the Super Bowl. They just go, buy beer. And that was it. They just said, buy beer. Last 2 seconds of the Super Bowl. Now, nobody has Super Bowl on TiVo, but you get the point. They get the feeling like, it's been 2 or 3 minutes. The game's got to be coming back on. Let's get back to the bathrooms, and sit down. In the last 5 seconds, just buy beer. And that's it. He's done. So that is, permission-based marketing is now more effective, and TiVo is making this, it's pushing it. It's saying, get rid of this interruption-based marketing. And Facebook and social media are really big ways to capitalize on that. Reason number 7, Generation Y. And that is exactly a perfect picture to represent my generation. Very informal. Almost too informal, a little unbearing at times. It kind of make you shake your head and just like, really? These are my grandkids, these are my sons, daughters, come on. As of 2011, Gen Ys are officially outnumbering baby boomers. And that does have a little bit of controversy to that fact because people kind of debate when baby boomer generation starts and ends and when Gen Y starts and ends. But you get the idea that Gen Y is a huge generation. 82 million. Okay? Between the ages of 20 and 24 are the largest segment, and that's what I'm in. We're the largest segment, and we are all on social media. So if you are reaching out and you're trying to, if you want to say, well, University of Iowa has a ton of students, and I just have not tapped into that market, well, they're all going to be in that age group. Every single one of them is going to be on a social media platform. You just got to figure out which one they're using and how to get hold of them. Reason number 8, social media is not a fad. I know a lot of people in 2006 and 7 when Facebook was on the rise and Twitter was just coming out, they were saying, well, I'm not going to invest because this is not going to go anywhere in a couple of years. It's going to fade out. And they said that about LinkedIn, and they said that about Google+. And year after year, we get disproved and they push it back. And they said, well, it's 2013 now. I still think by 2015 nothing's going to exist. But as you see by the numbers, it's just growing. It's not diminishing. It's not going to go anywhere, guys. It's going to be a part of our lives. ESPN actually quotes. Rather than interviewing athletes like they used to, they just look at their Twitter feed and they'll say what they said on Twitter. Like that's where the market's going to the point where when ESPN adopts something that it's set, especially in America. 1 billion users are on Facebook and 4 billion views per day on YouTube. Per day. And these are last year's numbers. November 2012. This is 4 or 5 months later. You know that those numbers are even higher. Reason number 9, Facebook advertising is extremely sophisticated. And I say that because out of every single advertising channel you can use, Facebook will give you the most sophisticated metrics on your client that you can possibly imagine. Newspapers will say, well, on average we get about this many people between these ages, and they may or may not look at your ad, but I can tell you the last 5 companies that came in, they found a little bit of success. They had 3 calls. Well, this one, Facebook, will scare you how much they will tell you about people. I can look at Facebook advertisements that I've written, and I can say, well, the average person who clicked on your ad between the ages of 19 and 24, they like the University of Iowa, they enjoy the TV show Lost, they have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, they are single, they are in the process of joining a group at the University of Iowa, they are on the soccer team, they enjoy snowboarding, they like in their free time to read books. I mean, I can tell everything about these people. It will literally scare you. I can market to a mother who's about to have a child. I can get that person, and I can get them to see that in their writing. Because everything that you do when you make your Facebook page, people don't realize this. Everything that you're writing, every page you're liking, and every post you make is giving them information, and they're just gathering it about people without even noticing. I know the ages of people. I mean, usually you have to meet someone for like a year before they'll tell you the age if you ever even know. Usually it's a guessing game. Well, on Facebook, people just give it out. They're like, I don't even care. May 1989, something like that. And then you know their age. So you can get down to the exact numbers of what they're looking for. And reason number 10, social media is an all-in-one. So if it's not Facebook, then it is definitely going to be social media. One of the platforms can help. LinkedIn is excellent for B2B. Facebook is excellent for B2C, which is what you guys are trying to get. You're trying to get patients and clients to come in. Twitter can be used to grow a following of like-minded professionals. So if you're looking to be a voice leader in your industry, Twitter is a really good way to do that. Google is perfect for both B2B and B2C traffic. So anyone who's searching for your services, that's Google. They can get everybody, okay? And last but not least, hundreds of other platforms exist that allow you to advertise to anyone you can possibly be looking for, and that's the Longtail Marketing thing. So if you don't like Facebook, there's a whole bunch of other ones that can definitely help you. Social media is all in one. Okay, now, all of the things that I've been saying are just basic facts about social media that exist. Now that you have a basic understanding, I want to show you what it is, big picture. This is a Google search, okay, for what I do, social media strategy in Iowa City. Put in there massage therapist Iowa City. Put in there Reiki massage Iowa City. Put in holistic therapy or Iowa City. Anything, what have you. Okay, acupuncture Iowa City. These are all great terms that people will look. They'll look for. They'll search on Google and they're looking for people that do that in their area. This is an ad I wrote for my company. Okay, drives people to my website when they're looking for my services. That is a basic LinkedIn search that will show me number 1 in Iowa City. This is my LinkedIn profile, and this is all page 1 here. I couldn't fit it, so I kind of split it up. That's my LinkedIn profile. There's a YouTube video I made. There's another video I made. And this is a blog post that I made. So blogging is really big for Google as well. And then this is the article that I'm presenting to you guys today. So out of all of those spots on Google, I only 8 out of 10 I take them because I'm utilizing the social media to attract the people looking for me. I'm not advertising here. This isn't advertising. This is just attraction-based marketing. I made this. This is going to be there for years whenever someone's looking.
But you're also giving them benefit.
And it's benefit-driven. It's not saying buy. It's saying, well, if you want to know about platforms, go here. If you want to know why you should be using social media, go here. If you want to see some videos explaining, educating you on social media, go here. On those videos and platforms, yeah, I'm going to have a call to action, of course. I mean, this is free value, but I'm going to have a call to action at the end, and that's where the advertisement comes in. It says, well, if you enjoyed this, I invite you to come to my website. And that's where I try to sell them. Once they get to the website, now it's like, here's the price, here's how I do business, give me a call. But I don't do it here.
Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Can you take some questions now? So
Yeah, sure.
I feel like
Does anybody have, we've covered quite a bit. So does anybody have questions regarding what we've gone through so far? We're almost done. Okay. No, that's okay. If you guys have to go, if you guys have to go, feel free.
All right, thanks.
The last slide here, so I'll get through it. where to start, okay? So for you guys, now that you have all this information, you can see what the big picture results are, how to start, okay? I would start with branding yourself on LinkedIn. Just make a profile, upload all of your resume information, put some articles on there, maybe if you have any videos, upload that, any work you've ever done, see where it takes you. Second step is to start testing your market with Facebook. If you don't have luck with Facebook, that's fine. Go to step 3 and find out where you stand in Google search results. So if you're a massage therapist, say massage therapy Iowa City and see where you go. If you're an acupuncturist, say acupuncture Iowa City or Coralville or North Liberty and see how you stand. And the same thing goes for all of your other services. Just see when people are looking for you, because 90% of the people that are looking for services they don't know already exist, they don't use Yellow Book anymore, they don't use newspapers, now they go to Google to see what they're finding, what are your competitors doing, and how can you best them. And if you get to these 3 steps, and things are looking good, I invite you to call me. I can help you boost what you're currently doing to actually start driving sales. And regardless of whether or not you think you want to do business, I invite you to connect with me on LinkedIn, because my LinkedIn profile is optimized to the absolute maximum, and you can see what you should be doing based on my LinkedIn profile. I have every single section filled out to its max potential. So if you don't have publications, well, there's probably some other things that I've done that you do have that you could do on your own profile. And that's the LinkedIn URL I have right there. Or you can just type in Longtail. That's it.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Any questions? I didn't give you much time. I knew I was in a hurry, so.
Yeah.
What if you really don't want the millennials?
If you don't want millennials,
Right.
That's not my primary.
right, the fastest.
So I know eventually they'll grow up and I'll have to
Right.
reach out. So I do get that I should be looking ahead, but that's not who I'm getting.
Sure.
Honestly, they don't have money.
No, they don't.
They like to be entertained, and they also tend to ask for stuff.
Mhm.
By trying to reach me, by trying, they actually,
Yeah.
they like freebies of
Yeah, they do.
all
Right,
sorts.
right.
And honestly, it doesn't translate into business for me, because
Right.
it
Well,
stops right there.
my question to you is, what is your target market? Who are you trying to get to?
Professionals, I
Professionals?
think, people.
Certain age group, maybe?
Yeah, I tend to see people probably 35 to 60.
Okay. I can tell you that the fastest growing age group on Facebook is 50 and up for women, females. I can also tell you that if you're looking for ages 30 to 50, you can make an ad on Facebook that goes to that age group. So if you aren't trying to attract millennials, then write an ad that attracts the people you're looking for to your page, and have it drive to your website. If you don't want to maintain a Facebook page, but you want to have ads on Facebook so that you can have a sophisticated advertising campaign, just make the page, upload a little bit of stuff that just has where to go if they find you, and have the ad drive them to your website instead of your social media page. That is a good way to get to the 30 to 50, because you can know exactly what they're looking for. I'm sure that you're not looking just for anybody 30 to 50. You said professionals.
Like
So you're looking
LinkedIn
for-
would be maybe more for professionals.
LinkedIn is really good for professionals because most professionals do have a page, and you can also write ads on LinkedIn that will go to that exact specific title you're looking for. So I can say, let's see, Facebook and LinkedIn advertising is different. Facebook, you can get down to the actual demographics and what they enjoy. On LinkedIn, you can advertise based on their title and income level, and that might be a better place for you to advertise. So you might be looking for professionals, but what you might really be looking for is people in the upper management that are making $50,000 plus per year and are really stressed by a hard day. LinkedIn, I would say, is your best bet. That's where you can advertise and reach that clientele. I would just put in there, I'm looking for presidents that make $100,000 plus per year and hate their lives. So, and you can get an ad that's going to show to them. Okay, you can measure how effective it is, and based on your analytics of your website, you can tell once they got there, once you paid for them to click on that ad, you can say, did they stay and buy something? You can find all of that out by the metrics, by the ad campaigns. Cool. So, any other questions?
Thank you.
I've got actual hard copies of this presentation on my LinkedIn profile, so you guys can go there and find it if you'd like to, just print it out, just to remind you of little basic facts. There's also a lot of other information on YouTube for continued education. We do it for free. We've been making one about every other week now since January when I merged with Pamela's husband's company, and we're going to continue doing that. So if you'd like, subscribe to YouTube and just keep up to date with information. Free stuff.
Everyone free.
Other than that,
Thank you.
thanks for having me.
Thank you.